Thank you. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Live with your boy King Crowder. You could be anywhere in the world, in the universe, but you chose to be here and spend time with your boy. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Live on Wednesday. Share the live, comment, like, and subscribe. I'm so glad that you can be here with me, but I wanted to tap in early because I was excited about talking about this topic. Today's lesson is, why are the non-FBAs so offended, so upset, so angry about the delineation movement? You know the real reason why? I'm going to explain it to you. Before we get into tonight's live, I want you to understand something, y'all. When people say delineation is divisive, what they are saying is that you taking control is a problem. Remember, divisiveness is a word used to deflect from the real conversation. The real conversation is, there is a new energy around, a new type of spirit that is around us. There is no more disrespect. There is no more tolerance. There is no more talking to me crazy. There is no more of that. The line is there. Whether you want to acknowledge it, unacknowledge it, have a problem with it, feel some type of way, we don't care. So now that you know that we don't care, now that you know that the movement and the energy is different, what do? You try to ignore it and control the narrative. You can come up and talk to me anytime tonight. You try to run and tell people that they're doing something wrong. Or you choose to undermine or disrespect the claim. What you need to know is, all Black Americans out there, there's nothing wrong with having cultural pride. Delineation must have happened in my lifetime. The reason why I think it must happen, y'all, as a Black American man growing up in this country, there's always a need to punch down. There's always a need to be disrespectful. There's always a need to talk crazy or disrespectful. There is nothing much that we do, especially for our young men, I'm going to speak for that instill confidence, cultural pride, and ethnicity love. The delineation movement is about that. We should stop calling delineation and start calling it the love era. Foundational Black Americans are in our love era. We are in our love era of loving ourselves, loving the people that love you, pouring into people that are pouring into you, supporting people that support you, and having the same energy with others who feel the same way. It doesn't matter who feels or they're not rocking with it, y'all. It simply matters how you choose to go about it. So the anger, the vitriol, the downright, you niggas no good, all that is a deflection tactic. And I want you to know how serious of a deflection tactic it is. When you got people going online saying threats, remember, y'all, take no threat lightly. Take no disrespect as if somebody's just talking. Treat every man or woman with seriousness. If you say something disrespectful to me, it is my job to think you're serious. Never underestimate your opponent. People that disrespect you, people that have contempt for you, never underestimate them. And what I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is what happened. Hey, what's good, y'all? What it do? What it do? What it do? What this first video, y'all, it's a sensitive matter, but I want to play it so you can openly hear what people have to say about Black Americans openly and on platforms. If you have children around you, y'all, turn it down right quick. But this is hard to listen.
To, and I support her 100%. I pray that I myself, if I have the power, that's what I would do. Put all the FBAs in a hole.
Did you hear that? Pay attention.
Gasoline on them, light a fire, and let it flame. That's what I would do. And it's not about delineation. It's not about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is not funny. That is not something you joke about. That is not something you ever take lightly when somebody says publicly they think about harming you. Ken Crowder, maybe she just feeling that type of way. Maybe she was in her feelings. Keep listening.
It's about the stuff that come out of their mouth. It's just like the KKK.
I'm not wanting to take. Do you have any idea what the KKK did, y'all? The Ku Klux Klan hung, assassinated, destroyed, burnt down, blew up, and executed people solely based off their skin tone. When people say words like you are kin to a terrorist organization, when people say things adding hyperbolic words to your name and making statements like I will harm you, ladies and gentlemen, do not ignore that. When people show you who they are, you believe them. Don't go back and forth. Don't argue. Don't get into a shouting match. Put that in your lexicon. Put that in your back pocket. Record. Get their name. But I want you to take that serious. Do not let anybody else tell you that it is not serious, because other people in America, y'all, are protected. And I want to shout out to this brother right here, y'all, because I believe this is long overdue. FBA's Anti-Defamation League. Jewish Society has it, and so forth and so on. We have a specific things that happen to FBAs in this country. And I believe in our lifetime, this needs to be funded, supported, promoted, talked about, and also championed. We need to be able to get those anti-Black rhetorics, anti-Black discrimination, anti-Black practices to be under federal law and to have rights and ramifications like other ethnicities do. The reason why we must do that, ladies and gentlemen, because in America, our history is unique. It's unique. It's bloody. It's beautiful. It's harsh. It's transparent. It's raw. It's all of those things and above. But if we don't have organizations like this, forget the Negro League, forget the Black Caucus, forget all of those organizations that don't do nothing to stand on something now. This type of organization right here, which I love the initial point on. Now, we got to continue to do our research. You know me. But I am here to present information that I find important to you. And the information I find important is because we see how this is a real thing. I've been a young man. I've grown up. I've matured. I've lived and I've been all around this country. So I've seen anti-Black rhetoric. I've been in xenophobic remarks. I've had disrespectful things said to me. Why do I believe this will be impactful? Number one, let's put pen to paper. Like that lady in the previous video, when you say something egregious, all threats are presumed hostile. What that means is that a response should be mandatory. A rhetoric that you said should be prosecuted. I do not believe that people feel so flimsy with the lip because we do not have a reactionary composite to this. I believe Brother Jason Black said this pivotally, y'all, and I believe it's true. Economic and legal-based institutions are the reason why things can happen to you and you have no response to it. We have seen and tried and true, like we did with our family. Now, in our lifetime, we got to understand how serious it is to carry that mantle and to hold things accountable when disrespectful things happen. And the reason why this is such an important issue to me, ladies and gentlemen, is because as I went through today's thing, man, and you hear indefensible things being said, why do we feel like indefensible things are being said about us? The first thing that comes to my mind, y'all, is when I heard that lady say disrespectful rhetoric, where are the ones who say that we're wrong for delineating speaking on that? You know, all those creators that say things are bad and we're this and I'm African one way and as yada, yada, yada. Why don't they openly condemn the people that say things that are disrespectful? I always notice that the rhetoric is always on the FBAs, but it is never the accountability on the other side. They don't say y'all wrong for doing that. They don't openly call out that African lady that said something about throwing people in a hole and burn them on fire. They don't openly condemn that lady for saying something about a bomb and all that type of stuff. We see that behavior championed, embraced, loved, smiled upon. And I want to ask you why. The why is, y'all, because they agree with it. I agree with that behavior, so I don't say anything. Remember, y'all, no message is a message. If I see you be disrespectful to somebody and I know I support them and I don't say anything, that means I agree with it. If I don't openly say I'm anti this, silence is a form of agreement. So when people are silent about people going on platforms saying things that take my breath away, saying things about people that I personally believe you should never publicly say on a platform. I really believe that. I really believe, man, I don't even feel comfortable being disrespectful in front of someone knowing they have friends, family, and relatives. Now, if we in person, it's what's happening. But to go online and say that about people, it's a special kind of place that person, the individual be. And why do you think that's so strong, King Crowder? You don't know why it's strong? It's the resources. It's the resources. It's the people fighting over. It's the money. That's the short answer. Money's involved, y'all. Delineation is putting money on the table. All of those legislation that we had prior to us happening, where we got money, resources, and things, is going away from race-based initiatives. It's going to be strictly lineage-based. So if the lineage base is the priority, if the lineage base is the focus, the fraud gonna go down. The scamming gonna go down. The people that don't believe in supporting will go away. All that riffraff, all the ones that say little suppository thing on the sidelines, bumping their gum out with their chest out, saying that's how we feel, we gonna really see how you feel. And when you really see how you feel, your history, your family legacy, what you supported, what you believed in, will be put on the table. And this is starting off first with our political leader class. And if you don't know this brother right here, he is the governor of Maryland. I lived in Maryland at one point in my life. Shout out to Gettysburg. Shout out to Hagerstown, Frederick, Rockville. Where else did I stay at? Bethesda. The whole DMV. I stayed up there from 2015 to 2018. But y'all, DMV family, y'all got to tell the problem up there real bad. FBA family, I want y'all to pay attention to the story right here about this brother, man, and tell me what your thoughts are. Let's take a listen. Fair use.
Your great-grandfather was run out of South Carolina in the 1920s by the KKK. The Free Beacon is casting doubt on that with church records. Can you address that?
I mean, the same right-wing blog? I can address the fact that I'm the grandson of someone who was born in South Carolina.
Wait a minute. Did they really say that he moved up out of South Carolina and was ran out by the KKK and moved to Jamaica? Man, this thing already sounding fishy. I'm going to let it play some more.
And when he was just a child, the Ku Klux Klan ran my family out. And not out of South Carolina. They ran them out of the United States of America. And they went to...
Why this man lying, y'all? Why he lying?
Much of my family has always said they would never come back to this country. It's the reason why my mom right now, as we speak, is in Jamaica and she's visiting with family members. But my grandfather came back to this country. He got his degree from Lincoln University and HBCU in Pennsylvania. He became a minister, just like his father, and he became the first Black minister in the history of the Dutch Reformed Church. I know my family's history. So if some blog has a question about the Klan's history, maybe they should ask the Ku Klux Klan.
I know I'm gonna sound rude. Doesn't it seem kind of rehearsed a little bit? I'm not trying to be funny, man. We know his background, right? We know Westmore is, and we know how he felt about reparations. But speaking from the heart about your family going from South Carolina and being moved off from the Klan, this is the most reserved I've heard a Black man talk about this issue. And why is this issue just coming about now? Why hasn't he ever spoke on this in all his platforms, all his issues? Why is it spoken about now when the questions about your lineage is being brought up, Mr. Moore? Let's not forget, y'all. The last election, the token good, I'm upstanding, I don't say anything, I go along to get along, it's over with. We are in the Trump era. Strong opinions, strong personalities, big facts will be the only thing that lasts and sustain now. Playing it safe, being clean cut, not having a click tape, it won't work. Younger Black Americans, myself included, see what Trump has done. Trump has exposed one major thing to everybody. You can do things that are unpopular as long as it's for your people. If your base is behind you, I can say, free the guys. Trump got the first day in office and said, free the guys. Everybody that went up there January 6th and stormed the Capitol, he freed them. He did it. He hit a button. He said, ain't no conversation. Ain't no bipartisanship. I'm laying my nuts on the ground. This is what I'm doing. And you know what it did? It lets you know that all those talking points about I got to be political, I got to be nice, I got to be this, man, that stuff is over with. You got to be original. We are officially in the era that, bruh, you got the power to do something that you want to do. If you wanted to make something happen, you can no longer lose that trope of I got to play it nice. You can't. The genie's out the bottle, the toothpaste is out the tube, whatever analogy you want to use, bruh. So all my political figures that want to run, you must understand this is what younger Black Americans, millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha want. The playing nice, the clean cut, the playing it by the code, the I'm going to give you what I can, the I'm going to put other people's agendas, the Christian values, it's over with. It's over with. And I can see it, man. Clean cut, brother. Political. You can tell family, all of that. I don't think it's going to make it in 2026 and beyond. I really don't. I really don't think it's going to make it, man. I'm not disagreeing with you, Miss Elizabeth, on Trump is the worst president. Guess what? I agree with you. I agree with everything you saying, right? But you know the one thing that nobody else can say, no matter how you feel about Trump, the overall narrative that you got to be nice to get things done is over with. That's the real facts of it. The culture has been reset of the good political aspiration, the clean cut, don't rock the boat, the doing things by the board, the doing things how everybody believes it's supposed to be done is done. Doesn't matter what you feel, what I think. It matters what the people see. And don't believe me, touch grass and ask. Ask the people. Ask the citizens of America. They no longer will listen to political theater. You have to be bold. You have to have strong opinions. You have to be able to say, I'm doing this for you. And the reason why you got to say that is because the era we're in. We are no longer in a clean cut. I'm going to do it nice. I'm going to look certain way. No, sir. You got to come in with tangibles first. You got to lay the money on the table. You got to say, this is what I'm going to do for you. You can't come in and say, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to do a partnership. No. It ain't going to work. I'm telling you, man, like I said, man, as somebody that listens, watch, observe, touch grass, ask people. People don't understand, no matter how you feel about Trump, he has revolutionized the presidential and political process. He's revolutionized it. He's revolutionized it by saying, what I say I did, I'm going to do. Now you have to do. Good, bad, or indifferent. You have to do. You cannot say now that I'm going to deliver and don't deliver. It doesn't matter if I support you. It doesn't matter if I like you. We are in an era now that there is no more loyalty. Whoever does the most for the American citizen or the person that has their opinion in mind is going to get support. We no longer live in an era about the church and the religious and the God. It's just gone, man. And I don't think most people keep up with that. If you ask the average young man or young woman in this country when last time they've been to church, religious institutions no longer carry weight. Sexual orientation no longer carries weight. Your personal belief and your feelings no longer carries weight. What you are going to do carries the most. So I heard what you said, brother. I did. It was eloquent. It was transparent. But all the talking points of the good guys and the clean-cut guys from the foregone era, i.e. Stephen A. Smith, don't work no more. And I'm going to show you another video to show how serious it is for those that don't believe me. Fair use, y'all. You know King Crowder come with you with them offended facts. They do. Absolutely, we need a clean cut of all the Republicans, man. I don't think people care about the Obama anything anymore. I get what you're saying about you missing him, but I don't think his era will come back because he didn't do anything. And that's the truth. Obama was stuck in a military district that was so killed so many people, so I want the equity fall. Hey, that is good in theory, brother. And I'm with you, Jacob. That is good in theory, but I always ask the same question. Remember, I'm assuming you're close to my age, you're a little bit older, right? We are in the era of Trump, y'all. Trump era is strong opinions, do things, make things happen. I don't know if any President Obama-esque could last now because he was clean cut and he had to work through the process. Now you got to be quick. You got to make stuff happen. They got to see in real time. Remember, y'all, it's not for the older generation now. This is for the younger ones. You have to be speaking towards younger voters. The baby boomers will be gone in 10 years. I know that's sad to say. The younger voters that are coming up, they are in a different era of confrontation, instant results, instant communication, and transparency. I didn't say truth. I said transparency. And that's just the era we live in. We don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. But what you have to do is acknowledge where we at, baby. And if you don't believe me, don't take King Crowder's word. Go ask them. Don't believe me? Go ask them. I always tell people this question. When is the last time you've talked to someone under the age of 21 that's outside of your family? When is the last time you've talked to someone under the age of 18 outside of your family? And if you haven't done that, before you holler at me, do it one more time. And this is another lesson I want y'all to see. Tap in with me.
Does you worry about racism if he ran for president?
No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe. I do believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. I think a lot of people in America, especially in this day and age, now more so than ever before, It's not about race. It's about the fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems.
You know, when you get on air and say open statements like that, I'm scared for this country. I'm not. Cleanse always happens. We need it. Couple of days. Democratic socialism is one of the only viable path for humanity. We choose to live in China picks away off the down line. That's good in theory, brother. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm saying practically you got to be able to understand their spaces. A couple of days ago, 16-year-old, that's good. Now, I would ask you the follow-up question to Ms. Elizabeth. Were they black? Were they white? Were they Latino? The reason why I'm asking these questions, y'all, is because this is how you stay current on what's going on and what they're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? No, when people talk to minors, I'm not saying like that, brother. That's a strong word. What I am saying is that you stay aware of what's going on. Remember, as an intellectual, it is your job to read what they read, to watch what they watch, to listen to what they listen to. I didn't say indulge. I say be aware of it. You feel what I'm saying? You got to touch base. You got to come into this world and hear them out. You got to come into this world and hear them out. You have to go in a different space. You know, one thing I always tell people to do? I don't care anything about your political side, right? I'm black first, always, right? But I'll listen to have a discussion with anybody. If I agree with it, don't agree with it, don't like it, don't listen to it. I listen because, number one, I'm an intellectual man. And I know it is up to me to always sharpen my skills. You know what I'm saying? So to sharpen your skills, I got to put the work in. I like going to the gym, y'all. I like running. I've always been a sports guy. The reason why I like it is the competitive nature of it. Competitively, you have to work on that muscle all the time. So if I have to work on that muscle to stay aware of what's going on, it's up to you to put the reps in. Reps mean every day you got to find out what's going on weekly, because the world is weekly now, y'all, for real. And the reason why I brought this video to Stephen A. Smith, he doesn't even understand the weekly problems that was going on. He's speaking about race, etc. I definitely want to cleanse. Try it out. No, they were white. Try to speak to some Latinos or black children. Because the black, I don't know what city you're in. I'm in Houston. Black boys right now are speaking about unemployment. Latino boys right now are speaking about ICE. Different people have different causes and different issues that you're talking about. How do you know that, King Crowder? I listen. They call me Unc. I talk to them. I holler at them. What's good, Neff? You talk about what's going on. You find out the rhetoric and you hear what's going on in your local environment. You will see what each person is responding to. But speaking on Stephen A. Smith again, ladies and gentlemen, older, wealthy, affluent, black immigrant man, successful, done his job in this country. Why is he the face on racial dynamics? Think about this for a second. He's not speaking on injustices. He's on the board talking to someone about race in this country. I feel the same way when they had this conversation with Emmanuel Acho. You are not a representation of Black American man in discussion of race. I'm being honest, man. I'm saying you are brilliant, brother, when it comes to sports. You are brilliant when you come to certain issues, maybe even the economy. But when it comes to race relations in this country, I do not believe, this is me, that you are going to be keep it 100 about it. You're not going to be transparent about it. You're not going to lay on the pavement. You ain't going to tell it what it is like it should be said. And that's a offended fact, in my opinion. Because when it comes to race problems, it ain't gone nowhere. It's just as bad. It's just as blatant. It has not changed. From education to economically to how people feel when it comes to dating, relationships, it ain't changed none. It has just gotten more secret and selective. But if you go out in this country, you go to a college, people self-segregate, and that's fine. But not acknowledging it, acting like it don't happen, acting like everything is a post-racial and post-demographic society is disingenuous, bro. I got white homies. Love my white homeboys. I got a few. I'm my dog. But I know what's the difference. I know when they go on certain trips, they don't invite me. I know when I go do certain things, I don't invite them. That don't mean I don't acknowledge they my dog still. But I acknowledge that we have a different life. different upbringing, different social norms, different communication, and that is fine. But to get on the open platform and you say, I don't think race is a problem, bro, what? What? Who gave you the right to say it wasn't a problem? Have you been to every state? You a New Yorker. Have you lived in a state where racism is a problem? I'm a rant right quick, y'all. I have a problem with New Yorkers speaking on race. I do. LA, New Yorkers, I do. Because they don't live or have never lived in a different part of this country. I truly believe New York and LA are bubbles. They are not the reality for how America thinks or how they operate. So their opinion on social norms, policies, has to be given towards specific cities. Because the rest of the United States, the Mississippis, the Alabama, the Georgias, the Kentuckys, the Nebraska, the Wisconsins, the Michigans, they still have a race problem. I've lived in 7 different states. Every single one of them was segregated still. To this day. And to get on an open platform and say it still isn't a problem, it's foolish. And it seems like you have an agenda with it, my boy. Yes, you've helped people. Yes, you put HBCU shoes on. Yes, you have done some phenomenal things, Mr. Smith. But to get on open air and to lie like that, that is why the delineation movement is so strong, y'all. I'm keeping it 100. That's the reason people feel as wrong as they do. They really, really do. Get the likes up. Shout out to you, D. Appreciate you. All of it, man. We just keep going as we keep going. You know, another thing I love about this delineation movement, y'all, nobody talks about. We do not instill cultural pride into younger FBAs. Think about it for a second, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a young man or a young lady, especially young men, everything you hear about you socially, relationship-wise, is always negative, 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 negative. Men ain't this. Dating sucks. Y'all trash. There is very rarely you hear openly about anyone actually saying the benefits it is to have confidence or pride in your ethnic being. That is the reason why I think FBA has really caught the wave. Until the pride of, yo, I'm black and what I came from. What I overcame was a phenomenal thing. What the obstacles I had to overcome in my lifetime and what my ancestral lineage had to do and survive and thrive in this country is amazing. Everything that my parents went through, how they had to overcome, the spiritual journey, the emotional awakening, the bravery. Because when we talk about bravery a lot, we always use the word bravery towards immigrants. There is never the term bravery used for Black Americans who stayed in the South, who overcame the South, who migrated and left their families for jobs, who chose to stay in a country that was economically, socially, mentally, and emotionally deprived. They were divided. They had to live near sundown towns. Ain't that bravery? Ain't that pride? Ain't that love? Ain't that joy? Ain't that a real thing that you had to do in real time? You were living in a place who had open hostility to you. You had to raise a family in laws that were unfair to you. You had to raise a family, provide, deal with, give structure, raise a family in a hostile environment. Ain't that brave? How come we never use terms like that towards Black families? How come when we talk about foundational Black American men especially, we don't talk about the bravery it took to leave your family back in the 1920s and get a job in a different state? That's never bravery. We never talk about the bravery it took to have a family and protect it with your life. That ain't bravery. We never talked about how brave it was to get spit on. Dogs bite you. Water holes in your face. Every single public pool that had assisted near you closed. That ain't bravery. How come everything will result to bravery is always said in the other way? Am I the only one to notice that? It is never the word brave when you speak about Black Americans. It's always negative terms. Lazy. don't work hard, don't like school, don't go to college, aren't for families, baby mamas. You know, it's all those negative connotations that put on us. It's never the other way. It's never, man, dog, man, you had to go through a lot to get where you had to go to. Man, you really had to make it out and figure it out for your family. Salute you, King. It's never there. And what I think the delineation move does immediately is give that cultural spark and relevance. Gives that support to say, bruh, I'm all right. And it may not be as meaningful for you, but for our boys, our young girls, they need that cultural pride. They deprived from it. They need that cultural love, that cultural support, that cultural understanding. It may not seem like such a big deal to you, but to them, it's huge, man. A lot of our babies don't even get the love and the hug they're supposed to get throughout the day. They really don't. So the one biggest thing I'm so proud of early, man. Facts, yo, hello, Facts, hello, new here. Shout out to you. I'm saying that we need to be able to do that, man. The cultural pride thing is huge, in my opinion. I believe that the FBA pride thing is so big, it is so understated, man. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in real time, and I'm seeing brothers being proud. I'm seeing sisters being proud. I'm seeing the love, the joy, the admiration coming back, man. And remember, that's what it's meant for. To highlight your wins, to highlight your accomplishments, to highlight things that you decided to go through. But we always saying somebody else brave, but we never say my folks brave. My family brave. They earn their rights. They work their land. They earn, they rose up from slavery on their own. It ain't never something we say. They built their culture, music, tone, food, language, all of the above, slang. That was all something built by them. Ain't that brave? Ain't that amazing? Ain't that the real reason why delineation should be happening? To showcase that, bro. Because if nobody else gonna support it, man, you gotta support it your damn self. Forget what anybody else say, y'all. If nobody else want to support you like you do, look for the people that support you. It is absolutely crazy to go and force love from somebody that shows they won't want to love you back. The only thing I find crazy right now is that you want me to force myself to put myself in the African bubble, in the I'm no black bubble, when they've told you they not. You not, bruh. That's cool. You right. You ain't. You ain't Black American. You ain't FBA. You a Black immigrant. No, you not foundational. Use that word and flip it. You are right. You are not. You are right. Stop saying you are. Stop pushing back. Stop explaining. Stop doing anything until you show what you're supposed to do on your end. We gatekeeping it from now on. How to address the bubbles that we see, man. It was a video sent to me, ladies and gentlemen, and I got mixed emotions about it because I want to feel cultural pride. I want to say, thank God it's done. But a video was sent to me earlier, man, about Umar Johnson finally opening his school. As a Black American man in this country, I know how troubling and hard it is to get things popping. I'm going to watch the video, then I'm going to give my opinion on it. Share it live, share it live.
The school is absolutely done. The school is fully done. The school is completely done. And on Tuesday, because government is closed on Monday to celebrate white supremacy presidency. The government is closed on Monday to celebrate white supremacy presidency. But on Tuesday, I'll be contacting the city to request an inspection of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Elementary School and Gym. Brothers and sisters, thank you for those of you who stood with me. Not the fakes and the phonies. Not those who act like you supported me but didn't trust me, didn't believe me. You listened to the struggle streamers and the scammers. You believed them.
Let me go ahead and be respectful first to start it off. Let me do that first. I hope the brother did what he said he was going to do. And if he did, congratulations. Let me do it again. Congratulations to you about you completing your goal. The next thing I want to address with Brother Umar is that the energy is different, bro. You will not get the praise, the love, the admiration, the support that you once were well deserved of because of the antics and the lack of timely manner you chose to go about. As an educated man, which you are, brother, very articulate, every man is judged by his actions and his accomplishments. In the man world, you are judged by how much you keep your word, not your money, not your degrees. In the men world, your personal accolades outweigh everything. And for you to take a bit while over plan of what you had perceived of when you were going to get something done, in the men world, you will get criticized, bro. In the man world, when you don't live up to expectations, you will get criticized. Men and women live in a different world. You can say things in the woman world and it doesn't hold as much weight. But in the man world, you are judged by your accolades. If I'm a man that say I'm going to call you at 6 o'clock and I call you at 6:05, I'm judging you. If I'm a man that say I'm going to be somewhere and to get something done and I don't get something done, we are judging you. So the reason why the harshness, the criticism, and everything has been felt that way because most brothers who do not grow up with men all the time, I grew up with my brothers and my father, R.I.P. Trey Crowder behind me, love you, baby bro, forever. We grew up in an environment where accountability was regular. We grew up in an environment where we understand as a man, I don't care about what you say, bro. I care about what you do. And you didn't live up to what you were supposed to do. Every man falls short. I ain't judging you on that end, right? I get it. But as a man, you have to understand where fair criticism comes into play. If you complete the school, I'm happy. But the timeline, the interviews, the antics, the lifestyle, the allegations, you got to admit that that was fair criticism, right? Don't even think it's for me, bro. You got to admit that you deserve some of it, right? And if you don't, that's something you got to deal with internally. Men, you are judged by your actions, your completions, your words. That's what you have to know. You cannot get upset, angry, feel some type of way, make a statement, talk your beat with your chest. No, sir. You deserved all of that. You deserved it because when you put the date out there and I say it's going to happen and it did not happen at that date, you didn't keep your word. And as a man, first rule of law, fellas, your word is your bond. Not a contract, not a letter, not your girl, not how you feel, not what you said, but your word. If I give my word right now and say it's going to be done this day, I don't give a damn if I got to stay up till midnight. It got to be done. If I put my word on the line, my crowd of name, my family legacy, my baby girls, and I say it's going to be done right now, it got to be done. If I'm tired, if I'm sick, if I'm asleep, I got to figure it out. And most men, I understand you don't have an opinion. We got to grow up with that. That's what you get judged by, bro. That's why the delineation movement is so real because that's been FBA code. I grew up in the FBA family of men, and that's how we live. My daddy ain't give a damn how tired I was, son. That grass said need to be cut on Saturday. I don't care if you stay up 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday. You getting your ass up at 8 and you cutting that grass. Tired, sleep, sluggish. Oh, well. You said it was going to be done Saturday, son. Get it done. Not if you're tired, not if you don't feel like it. No, sir. It must be done. And growing up in an environment around men, I understood it. And to this day, living in the metropolitan city, that's what allowed me to excel because I understand that's your credibility. That's your credibility, Umar. And I'm not on your level, dog. You have done great for yourself. But I got an organization. I got men I got to answer to. And the reason why I get the respect from those men is because I do what I say I'm going to do. The only reason why fellas listen to me is because I do that. The only reason why I get the love and the admiration is because I do that. The only reason why I can call shots, take names, have my household in control, dictate my terms is because I follow the law. And so many fellas struggle with that, bro. I know a lot of us get raised by our mothers and the women in our family. Get it. I'm not being disrespectful to that. But living in the man world, you are judged differently. Women are judged this way. Men, you are judged harshly. And I didn't write the rules. I didn't say it was acceptable. I don't say I always agree with it. But it's the world we live in, bro. It's the world we live in. So the criticism you got about the school activity need to be happening, man. And that's everything. Everywhere across the world, it has to showcase their pride and FBA all day. What happened to the large amounts of money that was owed in the building? Why is he not showing the inside? Believe it after 7 years. Oh, you going deep now. D going deep. I don't know. I don't know. FBA just saw your channel. Already subscribe. Lineage. Shout out to you, fresh always, baby. I appreciate you for tapping in. But what the comments are saying is real, y'all. I can't get mad at it. But when you have that vitriol on the video, and I hate to say it's the Pan-Africanists thing, man. I noticed there were a lot of black immigrant men. It is in our culture to question you. FBA culture is questioned. You don't believe me? Let's role play. Where your mama from? What church she go to? What's your daddy's name? Where y'all used to go to church at? Where you live? What's your grandma's last name? Is that her maiden name or her real name? Who do your mama have? What street y'all live on? Where y'all go to ed at? Where your mama work at? That's normal FBA conversation. I don't know where you grew up at, but I grew up in a black town. That is normal conversation. You meet any older black person, they're going to ask you those things. They're going to vet you. They're going to question you. And they're going to press you for information. So all that stuff is normal to me. So I am very shocked when I meet black men, immigrant, non-FBA men who take offense to it. That's how you can say that the delineation movement is really a big deal, because you see it. There's a level of accountability in everything we do. And you ain't got to agree with me, man. Watch the records. Watch the responses. And watch how people who live under doubt you treat you, man. I mean, it's just that serious, man. Next up, man, I want to pivot to our FBA sisters, man. You know, shout out to the Black Queen. Shout out to y'all. I'm proud of y'all. You know why I'm proud of some of y'all? Y'all are having those tough conversations. And I love this creator. I follow her on TikTok. If you don't know her on TikTok, y'all, please tap into her, because she stay checking the bullshit. The old truth, tap in with her, but I want y'all to take a listen.
Let's talk about this tether term that these foundational bitch asses tend to use in America when describing those.
I'm sorry about that language, Lord.
Those of us that are black but of another culture. You would be the tether.
You're not black, ma'am. Black is a term used to describe the foundation of this country. Y'all don't refer to yourself as black because most of the time, as we grew up and as we met y'all, you were immediately told me that you weren't.
You piggybacking off of us. We still rich in traditions that have been in place for hundreds, if not thousands of years. You the one with a culture that changes every 10, 20 years.
The culture doesn't change. It updates, it uniforms. It reinvents itself. Like all smart beings do.
Your ass is the tether, not us. Don't you?
Wait a minute. How can you be a tether if I recreate myself and I do something different? Won't tethering being mean copying? Lord, she don't even know what you're talking about.
You ever come to my page or any of my mutuals pages calling us tethers to blacks? Y'all the tether.
How the hell are we piggybacking off of you when you over here with us?
Let me do that right quick. God, she be spitting.
What type of cultural practices do y'all, wherever you from? I don't even know where this lady is even from. Like your American accent is so prevalent. I can't even clock anywhere that you might be from outside the United States. So you must not be that attached to whatever culture you come from. I don't know if you.
Let me do it again. Shorty be spitting, bro. I get these videos all the time, but follow her.
From Africa somewhere. I don't know if you're from the Caribbean. I don't know where the hell this lady from. And from what I checked in some of her comment sections, her identity seems to switch depending on whatever her narrative is at the time. Anyways, the term tether is not used to just describe Black immigrants in general.
You would be the tether. You piggybacking off of us. We still rich in traditions that have been in place for hundreds, if not thousands of years. You the one with a culture that changes every 10, 20 years. Your ass is the tether, not us. Don't you ever come to my...
Remember, y'all, let me pause it right there. If you don't know, the word tether is another word for international coon or sambo. Tethering means I'm copying what you do to benefit me. Sambo means I'm doing what I can do to benefit myself. Think of the guy that played Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django. That's the perfect analogy and example I can give. Think of Jordan Peele's movie, Us. Those were the exact examples of tethers. So when people use that word and you don't know what it means, all Black immigrants are not tethers. They are some. That doesn't mean all. I got a lot of Black immigrant homies that are cool, man. And I would never disrespect them like that. I would never say anything derogatory like them. But the Sambo, the tether class, you got to be respectful. There is no more play it nice. There is stand on business. Again, delineation is not like our parents and them. We're not being passive. We're not saying, you my brother. We are brothers. No, I'm putting hands, feet, elbow, neck bones, chin, whatever it takes to get the job done on you. I am no longer being nice. Slur for slur, disrespect for disrespect, action for action, whatever you want to call it. You will not disrespect me, nor will I allow it. That's all the delineation movement is. There's going to be a respect given both ways, manually or physically. You choose. But I'm telling you, these are our boundaries in place, and you are going to respect them. I don't give a damn if you like it, dislike it, how you feel. We are going to get it by any means necessary. Shout out to Brother Malcolm X. So when this movement is around and they're saying, and I'm telling you, why are they so mad? They're so mad because we standing on it. In our culture, we got a customer standing on business. We just never stood on business with you like we supposed to. But now, and moving forward, the standing on business is a normal practice. I'm telling you, you cannot be disrespectful. You cannot say disrespectful things and not expect it to be checked. I don't give a damn if you don't like it. I don't care if you do like it. I don't care how you feel. All bullshit will be checked, will be addressed, will be handled, will be punished physically, verbally, or however you want to go with it. However you want to go. But all this little sideline disrespect, all of those remarks that you say, we ain't letting it apply on disrespect like that. That's all I'm saying, y'all. You ain't got to believe me. And the reason why we got to point this out, y'all, you know, I check the airwaves. I stay abreast. I stay reading. This creator, DDG, is at Carnival in the Caribbean, right? And what he said, let me let y'all read it. And this is why I'm 100% on West Indian gatekeeping carnival. Ain't it delineation? This is why, let me read it again. This is why I'm 100% in favor of West Indians gatekeeping carnival. You feel that strongly because DDG went to carnival, that you have to publicly say with over thousands of comments saying, I agree. If delineation is a problem, why is it okay when you do it, but it's a problem when I do it? Shout out to Finesse. Why is it cool if you make a statement like that, but if I make a statement saying the same thing, it's a problem? Oh, I get it. You want to benefit. If I benefit, if I get the things going, as long as I'm representing it how I want to represent it and you have no rights, that's cool. Now, I have no problem with you standing on business how you feel publicly, right? But let's get to the nitty gritty, y'all. The nitty gritty, the main reason why they have a problem with delineation, y'all. Bold statement by me, y'all. Let me go ahead and throw it out there. We are going to get reparations in our lifetime. We are. Remember how they said we would never integrate? Remember how they said y'all would never get these type of programs rolling? Remember how they said you just talking, it's not going to be useful or beneficial? I remember that. I read the history books specifically and understood how bad it was before integration happened. It was pushback. It was dog. People were getting bit. Things were happening, travesty in this country. Serious things were happening. But they still got it done. People didn't want to integrate. You had public senators, George Wallace, the guy on the airways said segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. He said that. But they integrated. What I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that just like reparations is such a hot topic, it's going to happen. That is the number one reason why the delineation movement is so hated. You can feel it. I can feel it in the air. Shout out to Beanie Single. You can feel it. You can feel the tide shifting, the movement changing, the energy of the political leaders, the vocabulary, the momentum, the vernacular, the tone, the seriousness. Reparations, ladies and gentlemen, is going to happen in our lifetime. I can't say if it's 4 years or 8, but it's going to happen. We're seeing it happen in Illinois, and people getting paid already. Small amounts. But remember, when something drips, it's not the full pour on that makes things mess up in your house. It's that constant drip. You got a house, ladies and gentlemen, right? The big water damage you see, but the water damage that'll cause you to get a new goddamn roof is that constant leak. We have a constant leak of steady stream and steady flow speaking about this issue. What that tells me is how serious it is. The narrative has changed. The energy has changed. The magnitude has changed. What does that mean? Oh, our request has changed. And when requests change, you have to comply differently. Now we're getting the language right. We're already internally doing the work to make sure all the easy work is done. Now it's up to the legal and political class. And that's the final part. So like I said, when we talk about why the anger is there, it's that, y'all. It's economic, it's political, it's access, it's narrative, and it's also energy. We control who is FBA. You could be Black immigrant, but don't mean you're foundational. You could be an immigrant in a person in this country, that don't mean you speak for us. Myron Gaines, Emmanuel Acho, Candace Owens. You may be a Black person in face, but you're not a foundational Black American. Why is it such a big deal? We're calling it out. We ain't waiting for white folks. We ain't waiting for white people to validate what we're saying. we're validating what we're saying. We're saying in real time, yo, this is what we think. You know how powerful that is, ladies and gentlemen? You know why it's powerful? You can't control it. And when you can't control it, and when you can't dictate the terms, it bothers you. So the reason why, y'all, the anger, the madness, the power, the pride, the anger, the disrespect is starting to beat up. They feel it. I feel it. You feel it. You see it. I see it. I hear it. They hear it. And the drip. And it's dripping. And the drip reminds you. It reminds you, oh, shit. In less than 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, those Black Americans that we joked on and talked crap about have got on code and changed things. And we own our country. We own where we from, and we ain't changed nothing. We ain't got nothing popping. We got the most doctors, but not the most movements. We got the most engineers, but not the most activists. We got the most smart people, but ain't nobody there. So while you holler at us in our homeland, where we stay on our block, telling us what you can't do, we not listening, bro. Remember, nobody respects you if you ain't in your hood. You in my hood. You ain't make no motion off the muscle. Make the block and the trap say, hey, you jump it up. You riding the wave. It hit different. It hit different when you get it from nothing. It hit different when I create it. But when you come across and try to ride my wave, in Black culture, we look at you sideways. Ain't nobody gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you because I love you. The best thing you can do if you're non-FBA is to go back where you're from and try to get the motion going. We'll support you. We'll respect you more. But to come in our spaces and say stuff, you ain't working hard. We do more. It ain't doing nothing no more. I heard it all my life growing up. Did. I never forget until like I told y'all last week when I went to college and I heard that shit. I heard my professors talk to me like that. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the concept of FBA or non-FBA, but now I'm a man, I do. And the word is out. The word is out, the energy's out, the energy's different, and everything we're going to be working on is moving on a different way. So what do you do right now? Number one, you got to understand that FBA is forever. It ain't never changing. Number two, you got to get pride in where you from and what you're doing. You got to stop that racist rhetoric. You got to stop that go along to get along game. You got to stop playing that narrative like I'm going to go ahead and try to get something for me and screw everybody else, because that just ain't how we build. And you got to stop riding what we do. A great example is Essence Fest, ladies and gentlemen. Did y'all know they filed bankruptcy this week? Essence is a Black staple. Older, but Black. You made it come to Louisiana and made that shit do jambalaya and jollof. Remember, the first thing you do as a consumer that owns something is to find out what the base likes. We do business. No, you don't. The first thing of business, you don't go to New Orleans telling jollof. They don't know what that is. In the booth, they don't know what jollof is. They know what jambalaya is. You ain't even have enough respect and decency to understand what the culture wanted. You ain't even doing enough market research, because y'all are so intelligent, to understand what this festival needs. You chose to go in, colonize the culture, be a parasite, strain the resources, and invest nothing. So what happens in real time? Black Americans and the FBA movement are on code about it. Do y'all not understand that it will never be popping until it's a new helm thing at the helm? Do you understand that the essence of Essence is about Black culture? In Louisiana, the most Blackest state in the union. Say what you want to say, man. FBA, hot take, by the way, y'all. Come to my mind. Louisiana is number 1 in music. Louisiana is number 1 in culture. Louisiana is number 1 in energy. And Louisiana is pushing out some of our black greatest FBAs of the culture right now. Don't believe me? The past 20 years, what's the number 1 state for music outside of Georgia? Louisiana. What's the number 1 place where athletes are born in American professional? Louisiana. What's the number 1 impact place as far as music cuisine for Black American? Louisiana. And you went into the most blackest state in the union, along with Mississippi, Alabama. We ain't gonna disrespect y'all. But you gotta understand where you at, bro. You gotta understand that. And now that the culture has embraced the FBA thing, and it's there, it's a staple, you gotta move with it, man. And that's the reason why they're mad, ladies and gentlemen. I hear you, love. Oh, I love it, man. Oh, man. Love black people. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I respect it. I respect it, but I respect it. What's the man's name? What's this man's name, man? Shout out to you, dog. You ain't got to go back and forth, y'all. Literally, when you see stuff like that, you let them talk. You hear me? Why are you going back and forth with her, man? Let them be. But as we continue to go about, man, for another edition of Live on Monday, man, I want y'all to understand something. The reason why the anger for FBA is so strong is because we're doing what we said we was going to do. We're making head waves. We're standing on business. We're standing on code. We are checking everything as soon as it hits the door. And remember, when you start to check, people follow suit. And remember, don't believe me. Watch somebody from their community too, y'all. You know, I'm always come with the facts. Shout out to this creator, this African girl that was telling the truth. Pay attention.
I love how everybody's mad about Shabuzi. But you guys all attack Miss Georgie when she tells you all the time that African kids, we're from the same place. Me and Shabuzi come from the same village. Igbo babes, Igbo people. African kids, I grew up with African parents who raised me under racist ideologies for Black Americans. When I talk about it, you guys say I'm pandering to Black Americans. I was raised to believe that we Africans were better than Black Americans. We work harder. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans are just all vagabonds. When I tell these truths, you guys try to silence me because you want me to fall into line and lie because it sounds good. I don't know how to do that. I'm always going to speak the truth. Immigrants come to this country and think they're better than the motherfuckers who sacrificed to build. You get what I'm saying? Immigrants come here leaving their country that is so fucked up to talk shit about the motherfuckers that are here, that shed blood to make it possible. I broke the spell of ignorance as an African to learn about Black Americans and what they actually went through. A lot of Africans don't do that. They feel entitled. So I'm gonna just go back to my music because whenever I talk, I get in trouble. Y'all call me racist. Y'all call me this. Like I said.
Let me go ahead and shout out to the young lady. Everything she said was a Fendi fact. You know the reason why I know it firsthand? Again, y'all, I told y'all I grew up in a freedom town, moved to a bigger city, but since I've been in Houston, starting a Black male group, shout out to the group in Houston, Texas. The number one problem I have is brothers that are non-FBA telling me, how do I meet and make things function? You know the number one response I always give to them? Well, build your own thing where fellas come and support you. If you know so much on how to build something with love, support, and honor, you build it. Because I notice you will come ride my way, but when it comes to creating your own, you can't do it. So like she's saying, the mentality, the energy, the love, the spiritual, the essence is different. Different don't mean bad. Different mean it is what it is. But you got to unlearn those toxic traits and those toxic behaviors because you come around me, a thoroughbred FBA, and I'm going to check you. But what she said was a fact, y'all. Children, kids, the adults, especially the women, when they meet you and they know that you don't play that, the energy becomes different. I see it all the time. And you got to speak on it, ladies and gentlemen. That don't mean you can't grow and be a better person. That don't mean you can't be honest or transparent like this young lady is now and how she becoming, because shout out to her, I believe with all my heart. But what that means is going forward is the delineation movement will still be trucking. As we continue to close up with another edition of Live on Sunday, man, I want to thank everybody that tapped in with your boy tonight. Thank you for tapping in for another edition of Live on Wednesday. We did good today, man. Shout out to all 38, all 500 of y'all that tapped in with me. I'm so glad to do it for a good Wednesday, man. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's live. Hopefully you got to enjoy everything we talked about as a person. What I ask from you, ladies and gentlemen, is to, number one, like the live, man. Like it because it gets me more in the curriculum. Your boy is officially monetized. Shout out to y'all. So I'm just learning. I'm on my YouTube journey. People love what I got to say, so I'm going to keep grinding and keep growing along the way. Make sure you stay tuned for another edition of Live on Sunday coming to you this weekend at 7 p.m. Make sure you be ready for that. Make sure you tap in and get the book of the week. Neely Fuller. Let me go ahead and pull up to my guys. Compensatory Rose Code along with the Black Banking Process, man. Phenomenal read. If you haven't read something by Brother Neely Fuller, I always try to bring you scholarship to have in real time. Next up, I want you to stay tuned. Next Black Man event will be March 14th. That weekend, we'll be doing a Black business boost and creating our own version of the Black Business Bible of Houston, Texas. Skilled workers, skilled laborers, skilled trades around the country. Also, baby shower, we'll be dropping the dates along with the maternity shoot. Support your boy in any way. Hit the registry, hit the game for me. Comment, like, subscribe, share the live. Give me your feedback on anything you see, you like, you love, you hate it, whichever one. You know I'm always appreciated. I want to thank you for tuning in for another edition of Live on Sunday. It's your boy, King Crowder. Remember, the reason why they're mad about the FBA delineation is because they cannot control the narrative. I'm here to educate you, give you game, put you on code about what's going on in these streets. Make sure you do the same thing by showing love to your boy. I love you. Check on your mom, your daddy, and your family, your loved ones. Let them know you're thinking about them. Let them know that you want to call them. And most importantly, continue to comment and continue to follow your boy. Until Sunday, see you soon.